Lesson 9 is all about slope. And apparently I didn't update my objectives. I apologize about that. But our objective today is not to solve proportions by using products, but to actually identify our slope in a given line or a given table or a given equation. So here's the deal. Slope is the rate of change between any two quantities on a line. Basically, it's measuring the steepness of a line. To find the slope, you're going to find the ratio of the change in y, or my vertical change, to the change in x, or my horizontal change. Here's your big fancy formula. Slope is the change in y over the change in x, which if you think about it would be our rise, our vertical change, over run. So our rise would be either going up or going down, and our run would be going to the right or to the left. If we're going up, our sign is positive. If we're going down, our sign is negative. If we're going to the right, our sign is positive, and if we're going to the left, our sign is negative. Now you have been doing this before, you just didn't realize it. And now you have a fancy schmancy algebra vocabulary word to determine the slope of a line. In example 1, we are going to go ahead and find the slope of the line, and here we're given 2 points on a graph. Now remember, it is rise over run. We're going to take our elevator up to the floor, and then we're going to choose which door we go through. So starting at point A, I'm going to figure out how much I have to rise up to get to point B and how much I have to run over. So I'm going up 2, so up 2 is a positive 2. And then I'm going to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, and by left I mean right. So that'd be positive 4. So up 2 over 4, that means my rise is 2 and my run is 4. That is a slope of 1/2. My slope of 1/2. It means kind of the steepness. If I were to take a car, and you know how Mrs. Bank is such an awesome drawer. I have my car right here. It's got its butterfly doors, Lamborghini Murcielago, and it's traveling up this hill. It's got a nice steepness to it. It's not too crazy, not going straight up and down the hill, but it's got a slope of 1/2, meaning it's going to go up. We're going to go up 1 and over 2, and we're on our line again. Up 1 over 2, I'm on my line again. And that can be anywhere. Up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. And I fall on that line. Now for example, the second example, we're going to still do rise over run. But I want you to try it out. I'm going to pop up a question for you to answer here in a second. Okay, so you should have that you go up 3 and over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up 6, or to the right 6. This would be 3 over 6, which simplifies again to 1/2. So my slope is 1/2. Meaning if I start here and go up 1 over 2, I'm on the line again. Up 1 over 2, I'm on the line again. Up 1 over 2, I'm on the line again. Okay. Now, we've practiced finding the slope. We're going to figure out what it means. Now, you may be asking yourself, Mrs. Banka, why are we talking about slope when we've been talking about proportionality and direct variation and constants of proportionalities and unit rates and all this jazz? Why are you throwing slope at me? That's because we've been doing slope the whole time, but you just didn't know it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a problem like we've been doing this entire time, and we're going to figure out where the slope comes into play. Okay, so we've got to find and interpret the slope from this table of earnings to the hours that we babysit. Now, we're going to graph the data. So we're going to graph the data. I'm going to label my points here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I hope your graphs are a little bit more accurate than mine. I'm skipping a line in between every number. My iPad is not as forgiving as paper and pencil. So this would be 10, skip 2 lines, 20, skip 2 lines, 30, skip 2 lines, 40, skip 2 lines, and 50. Now, without labels, I have no idea what I'm talking about. So remember, this is my x-axis, our independent axis. We have a choice in the number of hours that we work, that we babysit. So that's why x is hours. And the result of that choice is our independent or our y variable. And that is talking about our earnings. The money, money, money. The more you work, the more money you make. All right, let's graph them. So 0, 0. If I don't work, I don't get money. 2, 10. In 2 hours, I'll earn $10. In 4 hours, I will earn $20. In 6 hours, I will earn $30. In 7 hours, 8 hours, I will earn $40. And in 10 hours, I'm going to earn $50. Okay, so just to sum up everything that we've learned so far this unit, if I look at this graph, I know that it's a proportional relationship because it's a straight line going through the origin. And I know that if I pull any point like 2, 10 off of the graph and I do my y divided by x, I can find that unit rate, or 5/1, which means I'm going to earn $5 for every 1 hour of babysitting. And the same is true on my table. If I do my y divided by x's, if I do 10 divided by 2, I get 5. 20 divided by 4, I also get 5. 30 divided by 6 is 5. 40 divided by 8 is also 5. 50 divided by 10 is also 5. So my constant of proportionality, or my unit rate, is all 5/1, or 5 for 1 hour. If we talk about, walking the table, we've done this before. So my hours, or my x value, is going up by 2 every time. My y values are going up by 10. To connect it to our slope concept, the change in y can be written as a triangle. So change in y, well, my change in every y value was 10. It was going up 10, up 10, up 10. So my change in y is 10, and the change in x, well, my x value went up 2 every time, so 10/2. Well, that's 5. 10 divided by 2, if I divide top and bottom by 2, that's 5/1. Holy cow! That slope is my constant of proportionality. Is my unit rate in a directly proportional relationship. This is huge. We've been doing this the whole unit, and you didn't even know you were talking about slope. Now this part is only true when we're talking about proportional relationships, and that means on my graph when my line goes through the origin and it's a straight line. Next year when you get into pre-algebra, you're going to be talking about lines that do not cross the origin, but you can still find the slope. It's still the same thing where you do your rise over run. So if I choose a point here and I'm going up 10. And then if I go from 2 to 4, I'm going over 2. So up 10, over 2. Up 10, to the right 2. Rise over run is still 5. So the slope, or the 5 over 1, it's my unit rate. It means that it's $5. I earned $5 for every 1 hour. And you were doing algebra this whole time and you didn't even know. Isn't that awesome? So if I wrote an equation for this whole situation here, remember my equations, and I know this is getting really messy, but it's so important and I'm so excited. We do y equals kx, where k is my constant of proportionality. So instead of writing a k, it's y equals 5x. And this 5 right here, we talked about it being our unit rate or a constant of proportionality. It's also our slope. Makes me so happy. Hope you learned something. I'll see you tomorrow.